I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Charges have been filed against the young woman from the town of Wawayanda who drove her Jeep into a herd of cows last week on Mountain Road in the town of Mount Hope. Mount Hope police say their investigation into the incident has led to the arrest of 21-year-old Daisy Coet on misdemeanor counts of reckless endangerment and reckless driving, along with traffic tickets for operating a motor vehicle while using a mobile phone and failure to exercise due care. Coet's Jeep hit 6 cows and almost struck 2 farm workers. 3 of the cows suffered serious injuries and had to undergo emergency surgery. All 3 remain alive. Mount Hope Police Chief Paul Ricard said the incident serves as a reminder of the dangers of distracted driving. They say the construction of high-density housing will destroy their way of life. And Sunday afternoon, about 100 or so residents of the village of Bloomingburg in the town of Mamakating turned out to protest the ongoing construction of a 396-unit townhouse development on Winterton Road and to protest the planned construction of a girls' school to serve the new occupants. Amid speculation that both the housing and school will be for an Hasidic community, people like rally organizer Leslie Weinstein of Bloomingburg say the real issues, the secrecy and deception that arose concerning the size of the development and its negative impact on the village of Bloomingburg.
My feeling is I'm going to go down fighting this one. What I hope is that the things that have been brought to light and continue to be brought to light about the illegality of it are punished, because we were totally duped, as it were, and a lot of us never saw it coming, and we've had the rug pulled out from under us. You know, people here were a small working class town, and we don't have the ability to do a lot about it. You know, this isn't like Litchfield County where there's money. We just have our voices, and I stress that everyone use their voice to make a difference.
Protesters were encouraged to take out their frustration in the voting booth Tuesday and to keep up the pressure on elected officials in order to try to protect the rural flavor of the village. It was bad, but Plattekill Fire Chief Chris Mancuso said it could have been a lot worse. 5 of his firemen were injured in an accident Saturday night on Prospect Hill Road in the town of Newburgh. The truck was responding to a traffic accident on the thruway when it swerved to avoid an oncoming car that crossed a double yellow line and veered into their lane. The fire truck went out of control, flipped on its side, rolled, and landed on its roof. All 5 aboard were treated and released from local hospitals. The most serious injury was to a female firefighter who suffered 2 broken vertebrae in her back. Mancuso says lives were saved because all 5 were wearing seat belts. The driver of the oncoming car continued on without stopping. Anyone with information concerning the incident is asked to call Town of Newburgh Police at 845-564-1100. Meantime, City of Newburgh fire investigators say they believe it started accidentally. The fatal fire that ripped through a 2-story home at 151 DuPont Avenue late Saturday night. The blaze claimed the life of 82-year-old Alfred Smith, whose body was discovered in a rear first-floor bedroom. His son and daughter got out of the burning building, but 40-year-old Deborah Smith was reported in critical condition and on life support after jumping from a front second-floor window. Close to 50 firefighters were on the scene battling the intense heat and flames. Meantime, a fire this morning destroyed a building used for estate auctions on Route 28 in Shokan. The Business 28 Exchange went up in flames at around 9 a.m. No initial word on whether there were any injuries at that fire scene. Outgoing New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg is going out with a bang. The bang in this case, the explosion from the 400 pounds of dynamite he set off in the town of Newburgh this morning at the site of what will be the tunnel that will ultimately replace a leaking section of the Delaware Aqueduct that supplies roughly half of the city's drinking water. The Delaware Aqueduct bypass tunnel site, visited by the mayor, is located near Roseton. New tunnel will run 2.5 miles underground and under the Hudson River. Its completion date is the year 2021. Orange County Executive Ed Diana is on the mend following liver transplant surgery that was performed Saturday at New York Presbyterian Columbia University Medical Center in Manhattan. Doctors said everything went according to plan for Diana, who had been waiting about a year for a transplant match after being diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Deputy County Executive Stephen Gross says Diana was awake and talking a day after the successful transplant procedure. After spending a couple of weeks in the hospital, the county exec, whose term expires at the end of this year, is expected to recuperate at home for 6 to 8 weeks. A Pennsylvania man faces a lengthy list of criminal charges after he hit a Port Jervis police officer with his car and then led officers on a high-speed chase. It began Sunday when Port Police responded to a domestic disturbance report in the city's West End. When they arrived, 20-year-old Craig Cuneo jumped in his car, struck the officer in a parked car, and then sped off. The Dingman's Ferry resident was pulled over in Matamoros, PA. The officer was treated for an injured leg. Charges against Cuneo include assault, reckless endangerment, leaving the scene of an accident, and driving while intoxicated. And you could call it a celebration of an important part of Ulster County's heritage. Folks gathered Sunday at the Hudson Valley Maritime Museum in Kingston for the 11th annual Bluestone Festival. An event pays tribute to a unique building material that's found in Ulster County and has been used in the construction of many important landmarks, including the Washington Monument and the base of the Statue of Liberty. The festival included demonstrations of bluestone cutting. Back in the 1800s, it was shipped up and down the East Coast for sidewalk pieces and building stones. And bluestone's enjoying a bit of a comeback these days, with people using the bluish type of sandstone for patios and garden landscaping. It'll start to warm up a little by midweek. Expect a mix of sun and clouds Tuesday, with temperatures getting up around 60 degrees. Wednesday will be partly sunny and a bit milder, with the highs reaching the low 60s. Get an edge on the day by starting it with the Times Herald Record. And breaking news is just a click away right here at Record Online. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.